Well, speaking of training, Governor, it looks like you've been hitting the gym pretty good. He looks great, doesn't he, folks? And we've all seen the Terminator Genisys trailer last night. Absolutely looks out of this world. Fantastic, obviously, another Terminator in the franchise, and reviving your role, of course, as the cyborg. Talk to me about the new movie, filming it, you know, continuing on with the Terminator legacy. I mean, obviously everybody knows the first one came out in 1984. You know, so we're talking some time lapse here, but it's still going strong. The Terminator franchise is there and doing well.
Well, it was really great 30 years after we filmed the first one to film this one, number 5. I was not in number 4 because I was governor at that time and I couldn't film. Nor did I like the story when it was given to me, because they wanted me to at least shoot on a weekend to do a cameo or something like that, which I then ended up not doing either. I instead then did a cameo for Sly, for Expendables #1, exactly. So we shot that secretly in the church in Los Angeles on Saturday for 4 hours. But in any case, it was great because, you know, when you talk about shape, I'm always in this kind of a shape, which I call kind of a medium shape for my age.
So those are only 400-pound donkeys.
Exactly. But you know, when I knew that it was important now in Terminator to again build up the body and to have the same kind of body weight as I had in 1984. Maybe not exactly the same build, but the same body weight and the same size, so when I put the jacket on, so it looks pretty much the same. Because the idea was always that Terminators, the flesh on top ages just like any other human being's flesh, but the skeleton underneath will always be the same, and it will always have the same power and the same abilities and so on. So that was the premise of the whole thing. And so you see actually the young Arnold from 1984, and then me now. So it was important to get the body weight up around 7 pounds, and I started training much harder, twice as much as I normally do. And then again, very quickly the body responds still great, and you know, with the food supplements and good dieting and all that stuff, and good training, I get the body weight up again, and with some definition, and so really felt good. And also I got ready for all the stunts that I had to do, and you know, that's something you have to be very careful of, because the worst thing that can happen is like with Harrison Ford. You know, when he started the Star Wars, and then within the first 2 weeks, you know, a door all of a sudden crashes on his ankle and he breaks his ankle and stuff like that. So those things happen all the time. So you don't want to have this happen during a stunt, and injuries just happen very quickly when you do those crazy things. And so, you know, so I got myself in shape, and I felt great the way I looked in the movie and the way it all worked out with the stunt coordinators, with the visual effects and the special effects people and all that stuff. And I think it's going to be a great movie with some really great surprises. None of it you really could see in the trailer, simply because the visual effects, to just, for instance, to recreate me from 1984, every single frame has to be recreated. We cannot take it out of Terminator 2 and just place it in Terminator 5, because I don't even have the rights to do that. So you have to really, through visual effects, recreate that, the young Arnold. And so frame by frame you have to do that. And it's quite a long scene, because the idea of the whole thing is that in 1984, when you see me, you know, walking naked across that park there, and to confront those punks and they say, you know, give me your clothes, that now it alters, the scene changes. As I say, as the young Arnold, give me your clothes, all of a sudden we will hear a voice behind it saying, you won't need it. And so the Terminator then turns around to check out who is that. And all of a sudden he sees himself. He sees me the way I look now. And I'm there with a shotgun, and it just blasts away on him. And so you see
How did
So it alters the story of Sarah Connor being chased by the Terminator. And that's what we want to do, because this whole Terminator now is set up going in a different direction, because with the other three Terminators, you couldn't really move anymore where you take the story. So that's why they had to kind of recreate somewhat the story. And it was great to have, Jim Cameron give good advice throughout the last 2 years when we, developed the Terminator 5 thing. Even though he's on to Avatar and is writing and he's going to direct very soon those movies. But it was really brilliant writing. The woman that wrote Avatar with Jim Cameron wrote the Terminator 5 script, and she did with her partner did a great job. And so it's going to be really, there will be some great surprises of who is becoming the ultimate villain and who do I have to fight and how I was reprogrammed, and the time travel. And there's some really great things, because you can't time travel when you have metal exposed. And of course, my arm gets kind of deteriorated, the flesh, I should say, because of some acid and stuff like that I was exposed to in the film. So then my metal arm is exposed, so therefore I cannot use the time machine and the travel, do the time traveling. So it's really great stuff, and unbelievable battle scenes and fight scenes. And now with today's visual effects, you can do some extraordinary things. So we had a great time filming, and I think that the audience will really enjoy it. Those that are the Terminator fanatics, and also those that maybe have seen the Terminator for the first time.
Anybody else want to go to the theater like now? I can't wait to see this movie.